Wait. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Industrial Strength Podcast, a podcast for more focus on industrial fire departments and hazmat responses. As always, I'm Steve, a hazmat technician with over 4 years of experience. And with me are my co-hosts, Jeff and Randy.
I'll jump in. Hi, my name is Randy.
I'm Jeff. Been here 20 years.
Oh, go ahead. Bueller.
Hey, I'm Jeff. Go ahead, Randy.
Okay. I feel this is a trap. I don't know.
Your turn now.
Who's on first?
Admiral Akbar would like to say that I'm Randy.
What's on second?
I've been in industrial services, mainly doing hazmat for 18 years. I'm currently a specialist.
Today we're going to be talking our first episode in a mini series about storage containers. And this part one is going to be about totes in particular.
Yeah.
So,
something near and dear to something we use every day.
Other things, totes.
Totes my goats?
So,
Well,
intermediate bulk containers, also known as totes, can be manufactured from various different materials based on the requirements of application needed, which includes what chemicals are going to be sitting in them, how long term, what climate they'll be sitting in. And those different types of totes are made from materials such as high density polyethylene, carbon steel, stainless steel, or a combination of all three. And just to kind of show you what we're talking about today, we have an image, first one of the night, kind of showing three of the main types of totes that we use in the industry.
Yeah, so, and there are common failure points of these containers, and they are actually leaks due to damaged seals, faulty drain valves, believe it or not, structural support damage from maybe forklifts hitting those, or that never happens.
No, nobody has somebody like a... No, I won't say it.
No. Almost. Improper handling, that might be for that person too, but
Could be.
Pressure buildup, improper venting. You have a lot of that, especially the temperature differences.
Absolutely, and especially in those solid steel totes, you get an overfill on a cold day, and then it sits outside on a hot day.
Yeah, and I've
seen THF spur everywhere.
Yeah, a little hydraulic fracturing or spewing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then there's pressure buildup from improper venting, which goes right along with. Oh, that's what I just said. Yep, we're perfect. Degradation from UV exposure. Hey,
yeah, from storing those things outside, like an external storage yard. Yeah.
Even improper stacking. Most of them you can't stack more than maybe two on top of each other. Yeah. I've seen several stacked on top of each other.
Yeah. I think, people will stack the empty ones, not think about it, but then they'll say, well, I've seen them 4 or 5 high, but that's because they were empty. Put something with a little density in it, it's going to crush the one on the bottom.
Yep. And then another common failure is plastic failure, and due to like high heat.
Wow.
That could be several different scenarios, but
yeah, I think like store in a storage rack, top rack, maybe near a unit heater or something.
Yep. But most of these failures, the faulty drain valve is one of the most common issues.
Yep, I think we have a picture of what that might look like for our second image of the night.
I think we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's again due to most commonly due to the wear and tear over time or by replacing that manufacturer's valve with a Walmart special valve, let's say.
Yeah.
That never happens.
So, Randy.
Yeah.
You want to do the UPI bulk container overview?
Yeah. So one of the
IBC.
One of the intermediate bulk containers we'll touch on is the Ultratainer, which is interesting. It's a plastic on plastic design. So when we saw that first image with the 3 different types of containers, this one is like a cylindrical plastic interior. And then it's a plastic superstructure as well. And it's really nice because when we saw that image of that square tote with the metal lattice around it, sometimes those are hard to drain and completely empty. But this Ultratainer is very nice because that cylindrical inside almost leads to complete emptying of the container every single time. So it's,
you know what?
What's that?
I think we actually have an image that we can show our viewers.
Oh, do we? Oh,
so
that'd be
they
awesome.
know what we're talking about here for a third one. Yep.
Oh, beautiful.
We should.
So this Ultratainer, you can see the
image does not do justice when a truck fork goes through it.
That's true.
Not that that's ever happened. No,
never.
I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking.
But so that cylindrical tank in the middle, once again, drains completely. And then the blue superstructure actually helps kind of protect it. So some guarding for bumping and falls. But this Ultratainer also has a couple other specialized features, which are really nice. So typically the IBC totes, the square ones with the metal mesh wrap around it, is good for low pressure. But these Ultratainer totes can handle higher pressure loads because of specialized caps that they use. So they have these caps that can hold up to like 62 PSI of pressure, which is pretty good. So,
for plastic, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. So, but obviously it depends on the commodity that's in it, right? Some commodities you might not need that. If it's pretty water-based, right, it doesn't have much of a vapor pressure, but some things that are in those Ultratainers have a much higher vapor pressure and that higher PSI cap is needed. One of the other things the Ultratainer is really good at is it's good for handling heavy materials, like high density. So it's good at handling specific gravities of up to 1.9, which specific gravity, for those who aren't into that or aware of what that means, it's grams per mil. And so water is 1. It has specific density to 1. So this can handle something that's twice as heavy, almost twice as heavy as water.
Yep.
Yeah. So, which is nice. Once again, pretty heavy stuff. So if you're using like solvents like methylene chloride or something, that's pretty heavy in comparison to water. But it can handle some pretty heavy liquids. And so...
Heavy soap, you mean?
What's that?
You said chloride. We call that heavy soap. We don't use chloride.
That's true.
No.
That's an old term, friend. Hadn't thought about using it for cleaning like that in a long time. But one of the other things that's really nice about these Ultratainers is that image. If you're going to look at the top of the Ultratainer tote, there's like slots on the top. And that's where you can actually have top lifting lugs inserted. So it's like a piece of metal, and it goes in those slots. And you can then use a hoist to lift these up, so you don't actually need a fork truck, which is really nice. So it's a nicer way of actually moving these totes around if you have it. But Ultratainer totes are kind of a nicer way of handling IBCs. And one of the things I found out recently was that these Ultratainer totes come in multiple sizes, right? So
yes,
depending on how much of the commodity you need, depends on what size Ultratainer. I think there's like 3 sizes. There's like a small, medium, and a large for these guys.
So yeah, I think I've only seen 2 sizes in this style that we've shown, where it's got the blue poly around it.
Yeah.
Yes, but there is actually a third. I don't know if it's a different size necessarily, but style that kind of looks like a castle.
Yes.
And it's all one color.
Right.
It's all the white clear poly.
Yeah.
I don't know. That might be the medium size, honestly. I'm not sure. But yeah, there are 3 different styles within that.
Yeah. And so I know that from our perspective, the Ultratainers are nice, but I know we've had a handful of issues with them in our shop where it's required calling out hazmat team for these things. And so actually, I think, Steve, we got a couple case studies, right?
Yep, and in fact, we almost had one last week that my unit tried calling in one.
Womp womp.
Ironically enough. Weird thing is, it just ended up being an operator sloppy removing a hose from the dipstick on top and just slopping sulfuric acid all the way down the side.
Oh, jeez.
That's a bummer.
But, but by the time anyone noticed it, it was all gummed up underneath the clear container on the bottom, and they thought we had a crack in it.
Ooh.
Perfect.
Yeah. See, that's when you need the jacuzzi size overpack. Get that guy out.
I'm just throwing that in the hot box. Fuck it.
Full send. Let's go. All right, man. So we have a couple case studies.
There's so many different conversations there, but let's get back on topic.
Yes. So as Randy alluded to, we do have some different case studies we're going to discuss. And actually, all three of these are incidents that we've ran into with this particular Ultra container.
Mm-hmm. And I did give you a hint already on this one.
Little bit.
Wait.
Go ahead, Steven.
He did.
I did.
But he buried the lead so no one would know.
Yep.
Go at it.
I don't remember him saying this. Oh, shoot. So our first study, an ultratainer filled with high-strength bleach, or as we call it in the industrial setting, sodium hypochlorite, was delivered by fork truck from a raw materials warehouse to a production building for use. Typical everyday thing around here. However, in this instance, the fork truck driver set the ultratainer on the edge of the loading dock in the doorway and drove away, expecting the production unit to just take care of it. They didn't bring it in off the dock at all. And then when the production unit went to grab it, a pallet jack was used in this case from the inside of the building to move that ultratainer out onto the floor. Instead of pulling it away from the door, they pushed it.
Yeah, through the doorway.
And they pushed it far enough that it actually tipped off of the dock upside down. As a nicely illustrated version of this can be seen in our next picture.
I like the illustration. That was nice.
Yes.
That's what the alleged incident looks like.
Yes. Yep. Almost identical.
I think that's the real thing. Honestly.
Oh, okay. Sorry. That's why it almost looks identical.
Right.
So, while these type of containers do have that pressure relief cap that's designed to retain pressure up to 62 psi, the hydraulic pressure created inside of this unit from it tipping over, actually liquid slamming up against that cap was enough to break the pressure relief device within that cap and allow the container contents to slowly start leaking out from the cap upside down onto the ground. Because the cap was near the ground, you can kind of imagine with that size of a tote in that scenario, it's not very easy to access the leak and try and plug or patch it from a response perspective.
Right.
So ideally, you'd want to maneuver this in a way that was reducing the response efforts and to mitigate that leak, and you wouldn't get in contact with the product.
Right. I think one of the other things that was a conflicting factor for us was the thing was still like tilted, right? So it wasn't exactly load stabilized. So there's always the chance it could completely fall on its top and crush anything underneath it, including responders.
Absolutely. So, Jeffrey, what did we end up doing in this scenario?
So I'm going to be very nice with this one because there were some issues with this one. But I believe what we did was we actually had a chain fall and we manually lifted that back up right. But there was some issues with that blue structure on the outside. There were some integrity issues, to say the least. But we did manage to do it with a chain fall. And did we use a fork truck with that or not?
I don't think so. I don't think it was just a fork truck could access it. Yeah. You couldn't access it nicely enough. Yeah.
I think because, like Randy said, we were still kind of cockeyed and not fully on the base, it kind of gave us that area to use those lifting lugs with a chain fall and not have to maneuver a forklift.
Yep. But I know there was huge concerns over the integrity of that whole drum or container.
Yeah.
Yep. But once we did turn that upright, and it was a slow process, but it did work very well. I think we had a rope on the bottom of that once we started lifting it to help kind of maneuver that around.
Yeah, like
it was controlled. It was a controlled environment.
Yep.
And it controlled with us doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Slow, methodical. But then that wasn't all we did, because once we uprighted it, we just put the leak in the vapor space, right? So we had a little more work to do.
Yep. Oh, we did, yes.
Because we still had that broken cap, right? So we can't let this stuff. And don't get me wrong, bleach is, I know, mainly aqueous, but we don't want things getting in there because anything can go in and mix with it, and bleach can be an oxidizer, right?
Yep. So, and not to mention, we did kind of touch base on this. This is extremely high strength bleach that we're using in these scenarios. This isn't your standard, 4% bleach that you use in laundry detergent.
No, this is wet. Yeah.
Yeah, this is
this will make your whites white.
Yeah, this is we call it ultra bleach. It's like 21%, I think. So, but I think that also varies by process. Some processes we have require 21, some require 17, but still way more than the commercial grade you can buy at the store.
Absolutely. Yes. So even just the vapors, if you were to breathe those in, it's not like being around that bottle of bleach you have at home. It'll start burning your throat and your lungs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, so after we got that thing uprighted, and I think we had to actually plug and patch the cap. Or no, did we replace it?
Replace the cap? I think we replaced it.
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
We did replace it.
Yeah. So,
and then one thing to note when talking about the cap, this was obviously that main, like an 8-inch cap on the center of it. Mm-hmm. A lot of these totes also have a couple smaller caps off to the side, kind of like you would see on the top of a drum, like a 2-inch almost. And those are used in the process of transferring product out to be opened as a vent relief too, so you don't either pressurize or pull back on the container. But if you were to have an issue with one of those, if you have spare bung caps laying around from drums, they're not the same size.
No, they aren't.
We learned that the hard way.
Specific to those.
Even though they look it, they're not.
Well, I guess it would behoove you to get some spares then from the manufacturer.
Behoove.
Yes, indeed. What an Excelsior word. It's that word of the day.
Toilet paper roll of the day.
That's right. Ooh.
So, Randy, you want to tell us what our second case study is about?
Yeah. So, story time. So, once upon a time, we had another Ultratainer IBC. I know, story time. Get your popcorn, kids. So, we had another Ultratainer IBC. And so, what happened was this Ultratainer got delivered to a production building, a chemical production building on our plant. And this time did not get knocked off the dock. It actually went to where it was intended, which is nice. So it got hooked up for use in a process. And so they started transferring. But what had happened was during this transfer, one of the people working nearby noticed that there was some brown streaking coming down the sides of the Ultratainer, and the Ultratainer started becoming hot to the touch. So I think we got an image of this.
I'm childish. I'm sorry, guys.
All right.
I think Josh having flashbacks.
Yeah. So once they noticed that this streaking was occurring and the Ultratainer was hot to the touch, which it should not have been, they stopped the transfer, took the piping, the transfer piping out of the container, and called the hazmat team in. And so we came on out. We looked at this thing, and no, it sure was. There's brown streaking starting at the top, at the cap, running its way down.
And where it starts, yep.
Yep. And interesting enough, in that image that's up, you should be able to see the 2 ports that Steve was talking about. The caps that are like the 2-inch ports on the drums, like any regular bung cap. But the steels are still intact, which means that they were doing their transfer kind of out of actually this main cap. They were doing a draw out of the top. And so we took samples of the brown streaking that was on the container. We were able to get it off of the outside. We were able to scrape some off. And we looked at kind of what it was, because we have the ability to scan those kind of things. And we found out it was iron rust, which, of all things, great, cool. It's pretty benign. It's an easy day.
We don't get rust in our facility. That's called rouge.
We made rust.
That's rouge.
Do we have rust?
No.
Never.
Weird.
What we had figured out, actually, after by taking it and figuring out it was streaked iron rust, was that when operations took this cap off and they put a dipstick into it to draw material out, what had happened was something else had fallen into the container, and we never identified what the something was, but we did identify that it was iron. It had high iron content because that bleach and the iron will react exothermically and vigorously. And so what was spewing out of the top was the byproduct of that. And so it was having a runaway reaction with that iron where it's going to want to specifically attack the iron, turn it to iron rust, which is where we got all that brown streaking. And it's continue to do it until all that iron is oxidized. And so for us, by the time we got there, they already had, once again, the dip tube out, the cap on. And we just kind of sat back on this one, luckily for us, and we waited for the chemistry to run its course. And we just watched it with a tick, which once again was a really nice thing for hazmat people to be carrying around. If you do fire stuff too, you think thermal imaging camera is mainly a fire tool, but
no.
In this situation, it was great for hazmat because then you can watch a chemical reaction end. And so we just did defensive. We'll watch the chemical reaction slow, stop, and the tank cool off, and then we got rid of it. So we sent it back to the manufacturer as damaged goods. So,
bye.
That's right. So once again, this wasn't necessarily a failure of the cap necessarily as a side reaction that occurred through the introduction of contamination. So, bit of a bummer, but an easy day for us.
Yep. It was just another simple reminder out there for everyone of always be aware of your surroundings when you're opening up these chemicals.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
A little bit of anything goes a long way. So especially with this, a little bit of iron goes a long way in this kind of reaction.
Yep.
So, and then I think we got a third case study.
So I think we do. I believe so, actually. Yeah.
Steve, you want to take it away?
I can do that. So
thanks, Steven. You're the best.
He is. He's such a buddy.
Only because you're here, Jeffrey. You make me better.
I appreciate that.
Now, this particular scenario with the Ultra container, the tote was containing what we call 22-degree muriatic acid. I believe we also have another name for that, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe our chemist can chime in on that.
Yeah. So muriatic acid is just a dilute hydrochloric. And so you typically see muriatic acid in pools, but the 22 degree is like a weird thing, dude, a weird thing in chemistry. And the 22 degree just goes back to strength of it, right? So the strongest acid you could have is like 38% hydrochloric. And that's just how the chemistry works out. This isn't a chemistry lecture, so I'm not going to bore you. So just trust me when I say like the highest percentage of HCl you're going to get in a solution is 38. And 22 degree is like a purity of it. So 22 degree is 35% instead of 38. So pretty close to as strong as you're going to get.
Nice.
Yeah. Good times.
Very nice summary. Way better than I could ever put it.
Thank you.
Yes, I agree. Absolutely.
So
I think I did zone out for a minute, but yeah, we're good.
Chemistry does that to a lot of people, including me. I zone out.
Is that why the lights are always off in the office in nap time?
Yes. Nap time is critical.
Yes.
So in this particular instance, the muriatic acid was observed to be smoking from the tote cap on top of the vessel, which I think we may have an image that shows a little bit of this. It's kind of tough to see, but yeah, there you go.
It is, yep.
It's a little tough to see, but you can kind of imagine it. And
we have a faint white wisp circled, I think.
Yep. And coming from certain people out there on the floor, including in warehousing, they see something like this and they think it's the end of the world, and they run and they call us in.
Yes.
So this particular vapor release was observed directly after the partial transfer of material. This is starting to sound similar to the last incident. Was made from the top of the production vessel. The transfer used a dip tube to draw the material out of the top of the tote using vacuum on a vessel to pull it through the hose apparatuses that they attached to that dip tube. And after the transfer was complete, the top cap was resealed, as you can see here. Why anyone would ever throw the tape seal back over something after being used, I don't know, because to me that signals it's supposed to be full, not partially used. But
right, you can't fix stupid.
Yeah, and we got a lot of that. Unfortunately,
they put it back like they found it. That's all.
The cap was noted to have a standard pressure relief device on this particular one, so we're not talking about that 62 psi one in this case. I want to say we're probably talking somewhere more along the lines of 20 to 30 pounds at most, and that's pushing it on a standard one. But don't quote me on that because I'm not sure. Now, the muriatic acid is actually, like Randy said, a synonym for hydrochloric acid. And I'm not going to bore you with those details again, but it's just a smaller percentage concentration on that.
Oh, come on, Randy. Come on, Steven. I'm sorry. Steven. Jeez. Dang it, I had a punchline and I screwed it up. Continue.
And the show moves on.
Yeah.
The pressure relief device on this particular cap was not working properly, it turned out, and was allowing acid vapors to freely vent to the atmosphere rather than building up until it hit that full PSI. Now, from a response perspective on this one, there's two different methods to consider. We could either replace the cap with another one that was working in its proper fashion, or to just plug the faulty pressure relief device on this cap. In our case, we decided that just plugging it was a better solution, considering it was a partial container for production that was going to use it again and empty that tote very soon. So just plugging the cap until they could empty it makes it a lot easier and a lot less paperwork, quite honestly, to send it back to the vendor.
Yeah, it actually made more business sense, especially since it was going to be used right away. If it was going to sit around for a while, I think we would have done something different.
Agreed. Absolutely. And if it was going to get transferred from building to building, we probably never would have done that. But again, this was getting moved by a hand pallet jack. We're talking feet, not even yards. So not a huge deal in this case.
Nope.
So, Jeffrey, you want to kind of recap us on some of the lessons that we've learned over the years from these ultra containers?
Yeah, sure, Stephen. So, the use of the lifting lugs can actually provide better means of moving, especially tipped over the ultra container totes. It's a lot better than, the sides of those really don't produce much stability. It's the tops and the bottoms of those. And while the bottom of the valve is the traditional leaking point of all those containers, that top cap and pressure relief really do have a lot of failures as well, as we've shown in all three of these studies. So having additional parts, the caps, even some of the valves, is pretty essential to have. I would dare say.
Yeah,
absolutely.
In lieu of the replacement parts, it would be a good idea to have a plan in place, of how large the large size openings, you could seal those off better. There's several products out there that you could use, but a replacement cap would be one of the best ways to go about it.
Yeah, it would save you so much time to just be able to hot swap for a like cap.
Absolutely. And a lot of times we get in low supply on the Flex Seal, so.
I was thinking of duct tape, but duct tape fixes everything.
Pretty much. It's a magical thing. But in our case, if it's hazmat, it's probably got to be chem tape, right?
Yeah.
I like duct tape better. Once I got it sealed up, I'm done with it. No, actually.
Wait, what?
Then we turn it back over. Yep. Success.
But, even the chem tape. I mean, you're not looking at moving that tote any distance. No shipping. Nobody's going to ship that with duct tape or even chem tape on it. So
absolutely not.
You're only talking about.
I feel like I see something coming in our future. Thanks for jinxing us.
Yes.
Perfect.
Episode somewhere down the line.
Yeah. We can patch with duct tape. Part 3.
Duct tape fixes everything. My grandpa told me that.
That's right.
True.
Wow.
So, I mean, as always, these are just some of our experiences we've came across over the years. But we'd absolutely love to hear if you've run into similar instances.
Don't use duct tape.
Big shipping containers.
Yeah.
And actually tell us if you have tried to use duct tape, how it worked, because we'd like to know.
We do not endorse duct tape.
No.
So, Randy, how could our viewers out there reach us with those comments?
Yeah, so definitely, depends on how they're catching us, right? So if you're watching us on YouTube, you can leave a comment with the video. If they are listening to us through a podcast, like Apple Podcast, you can drop us a note through the links there. hazmatharder@gmail.com if you want to just email us. Let us know what kind of IBCs you've been having problems with or what kind of failures you've had. Or industrialstrength@hazmatguys.com. So that'll get us. That'll get us a note, and then we'd be more than happy to read it and talk about it. And if you'd like to come on and talk about it, all the better. Let us know you'd love to talk about it.
Steven, what do we have for the next episode?
I believe our next episode, we may be continuing this mini-series on containers. I think that one we might be talking about drums. Or
is it an imposter?
Or are they?
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Snare drum, maybe?
Tap, tap, rap, tap, tap.
So as always, thank you for tuning in, and till next time, Hazmat Harder.
Hazmat Harder.
Hazmat Harder.